Hello and welcome to day number 2
Day 2.
of the vinyl challenge. Just to show you what we talked about yesterday. Birds Untitled for me. Sound like T-Rex.
The slider.
The slider.
For me.
So just want to say thank you for all the comments and all the kind words.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Yeah.
And we're going to give the old thumbs up to all the people that are participating. Jerry, Bo, Tim, and Matt. Matt hasn't shown anything yet. I think the last time that he mentioned he was going to show 90 records every day for 30 days or something like that.
90 records every day.
I don't remember. He was something that
something
was
about that math seems
a little. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was just need to do one, Matt. That's all. Trust me.
And if anyone wants to join in, it's not too late.
Yeah, it's not too late. Anyhow, yeah, Matt is. We've yet to see video for day number 1, so I know he'll do it. He's good for it. Am I forgetting anybody?
I'm not sure.
No, but everybody showed great records so far. So, and Sam has a small stack of records over there. I'm doing it on the fly. I drove home. I listened to the album that I'm going to show, and was like, yeah, I'll definitely show that one. Sam is kind of already picking out records, and you're like,
I have a different technique.
And she said, I'm going to listen to them, and so I can think about a little bit more to talk about. And I said, you have described the 30-day challenge to a T. So
That's it?
that's what it's all about. So you can go first, as always. So
All right.
your pick for today is?
My pick today is something a little different than yesterday. Vashti Bunyan, Just Another Diamond Day. This is actually near and dear to my heart. When I first met Mark, he made me a playlist, and I think Vashti was on one of those first few playlists.
The Rose Hip November, I think.
Yeah, I really. I should even say here. You get to see that.
Very cool.
I think with the freak folk movement, which is kind of.
Whoops.
Ooh, whoa!
Whoops.
Just knocked that whole thing.
Oh,
Really kind of come up in the last few years or so. Vashti's kind of come back into the limelight, and if you haven't heard of her or listened to her, you definitely should check it out. It's kind of lullaby-esque. Mark describes it as having kind of a really sinister undertone in some ways.
Yeah, I think so. It's a dark album.
Yeah, it's really good.
But Vashti had a very interesting career. Sort of, she was sort of doing sort of like a Marianne Faithfull kind of pop thing, which really didn't work out. She did a cover of a Stones song, Some Things Just Stick in Your Mind,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much just kind of disappeared in obscurity. Created this album, and just kind of fell off the face of the earth till from like. When did this come out? Like late 70s or early 70s, like 72 or so, something like that. Sometime, well, maybe even earlier than that. I don't know. You want to tell you what?
Sure.
Sort of just she disappeared off the face of the earth, and then as of recently, just sort of had a 1970. So had a little bit of a resurgence. She put out her first album in several years, almost like 40 years or so.
It's also very good.
Very good album.
Yeah.
So very cool. Anything else you want to talk about that one?
Let's see. Standout tracks. Rose Hip November is really good. Diamond Day is really good. I also really like Jog Along best. It's kind of a fun. It's about farm animals. It's good. It's got a nice jaunty.
It's an interesting. I don't know. It's a very interesting album. I think it's not traditional folk by any means. Her voice is like a real haunting sort of voice. That's why I think it's a little kind of a dark album. So.
So that's my pick.
All right. So my pick for today is, and I listened to it on the way home from work, Spirit, the 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus. And there is, in fact, 12 tracks, each signifying a dream of Dr. Sardonicus, we can assume. This is a really great album. I think this is Spirit's fourth album, also came out in 1970. Sort of before the original kind of lineup, sort of Ed Cassidy and Randy California were pretty much, they continued the band on even after this album, but they were kind of the two main members of the group, the faces of the group, if you will. Spirit is just a great band. I think they're, they definitely kind of embody California sound. This album is a little bit different from their psychedelic albums. I'd say this is a little more. No, I got it. This one's a little more power pop focused, I guess you could say. There is sort of the psychedelic kind of elements to it, but it's a little more of a definitely you could tell. I mean, at this point they really didn't have too many hit songs or they had a few songs, but not really a band like, for instance, that were on the charts all the time or anything like that. I did show the inside.
Just that.
So this is a good album. It's kind of cool because it's like, for me, Spirit, their first album, everybody always sees their first album, produced by Lou Adler and the one with all the different faces on the front of it. But I think this is probably their best album from sort of their later period. I guess kind of mid at that point, but all the tracks are awesome. Like, it's definitely a one. The first side of the album is just a perfect one-sided album. Let me see the tracks on it real quick. Just Prelude, Nothing to Hide, Nature's Way, Animal Zoo, Love Has Found a Way, Why Can't I Be Free, Mr. Skin. The whole first side of the album. When I got this on vinyl, I would just kind of listen to the first side over and over and over again. So I'm really more familiar with the first side than I am with like some of the later ones. But
I like those first 6 dreams.
The first 6 dreams of Dr. Sardonicus are quite good. So that's my pick. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.